guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. So today I'm going to be doing a recap of episode 3 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And as you can see, my sister and my nephew are not here with me today. My sister isn't feeling very well, so she couldn't comment. But I'm going to move forward and tell you guys what happened in this episode. So this episode is episode 3. We have Katie meeting with this magazine that she was on the cover of 10 years ago. And it's a pretty big deal as far as philanthropy goes in Potomac. And she's trying to raise money for the Ross Foundation, which is the foundation that her parents have founded. And it was a kind of an interesting meeting. I mean, you know, I don't really care, but you know, people care. So the next scene that we had for this episode was the scene between Karen and Gizelle. They met at a tea spot. They met at like a, you know, Starbucks, not Starbucks, and they had tea. And they talked about their situation, their fight from the last 2 episodes. And Karen apologized and said that she didn't mean to, you know, for her 5 rules of etiquette that she gave Gizelle at the crab boil. She did not mean to offend her. It was meant as a joke. And Gizelle was amiable and she took the apology and she was ready for a fight. But she says that when Karen came to her in the manner in which she did, she felt more comfortable. Karen also encouraged Gizelle to reach out to Charisse and try to mend bridges that way. And Gizelle was having none of it. She was like, no, I've already apologized to Charisse. I'm not going to continue to apologize to get her to be okay with the situation. She needs to, you know, get over it. And so Karen was just like, okay, I see your point, but I'm just, you know, letting you know that it would be more, you know, it would be better if you'd reach out. And Gizelle was like, no, girl, I'm not going to do it. And I agree. Like, leave Charisse alone. Like, let Charisse be weird if she wants to. So then the next scene, Katie and Ashley get together with their significant others and they have a meal and they kind of talk a little bit about being interracial couples, being Black women with white men, and you know, how that is and how they're really the only interracial couple in their circles of friends. And it was just nice to be able to go at a couple who understood them. And they talked a little shit about Karen, especially Andrew. Andrew, who is Katie's boyfriend, is a little like, I don't know. I mean, I like the fact that he was talking shit about Karen because I kind of like, you know, kind of like shit talking. But like, I was a little bit like, calm down. Like, you know, I don't know. I felt defensive for Karen in that moment. I'm like, let the girls talk about it, but you go on ahead and just chill. And Ashley's husband didn't really say anything besides order more cheese plates for the table. But I'm interested in their relationship. I'm waiting for them to delve more into that relationship and what that's all about. You know, Robyn. So they gave us a little bit of insight on Robyn and Juan. And if you guys remember, Robyn is legacy. She's from Potomac, and Juan is her boyfriend. Her ex-husband who she lives with still. He was a basketball player for about 7 years and they had some financial troubles right after he stopped playing. And I don't think we've been told why they broke up. I assumed it was because he was cheating, but that's my bias when it comes to athletes. So I don't actually know what happened and why they broke up. But, you know, they explained a little bit more, saying how, you know, Robyn's family, even though they were from Potomac, they really embraced Juan, who was a very, very rough around the edges, whose parents both were addicted to crack cocaine and died of AIDS when he was about 16 years old. So he never really had that like foundation, grew up poor. And they said, and you know, Robyn was saying how her family, her dad especially, like, you know, took Juan underneath his wings and like taught him etiquette, taught him, you know, how to dress and all these different things, so that, you know, basically groomed him to be in the world that his daughter was accustomed to, and also groomed him to be a man in the world that he ended up being a man in. And so that was kind of sweet. And they showed old pictures of them from when they were together, I think in like college or something. They were very young, and it was just really sweet to see their history. And it was also really nice to see them with the kids. Like, part of the reason why Juan and Robyn lived together is because Juan didn't have that family stability. And when they did live apart, when they first got divorced, you know, they discussed moving back together because Juan really wanted to be there to co-parent. And I was just like, that is so beautiful. I mean, they showed clips of their wedding and it was just so beautiful. Like, to see, like, at some point that there was this like love and this like togetherness, and then it broke up, but then they got back together, and not together, but then they decided to co-parent together. And to see Juan washing his son's faces, like, that was, I don't know, something about it was just so sweet to me. And I was just like, that's really like, you know, that's, I mean, bravo to Juan wanting to come in and take responsibility for his boys and love them and show them these things and like, you know, help them get dressed in the morning. And it was just really like great. It was great. We have Raven, who is Karen's daughter. She's going off to prom. This whole like Black Bill Gates with the Hooger family, I think that's their last name, is Karen's last name. It was just so lackluster. I don't know if it was a pretend, it was a setup for them to go out to prom. Like maybe that day they weren't really going out to prom, but I just felt that there wasn't enough fanfare about Karen's only daughter or last child going off to prom. I just felt like there should have been more fanfare for the way that Karen makes it. You would think that they would have had some sort of champagne party or whatever. I don't even know if it's called a champagne party. My cousin just, you know, had a champagne party last year, and that's the first time I'd ever heard of people throwing a party before you go to prom. I mean, I guess I'd heard of it, but I didn't know it was called like a champagne party. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just was like, I thought it was a thing that, you know, people got together when the couple went out to prom and there was a limo. So part of me thinks it was a setup and that actually that date they weren't really going to prom, because I felt like there should have been more people there. You know, it was just like the mom and the dad, not even the date's mom and dad, you know, it was just her mom and dad in a basically empty looking foyer. As I talked about, Karen's house looks like it doesn't have any paintings or anything. It doesn't have any characters, it's just like a house. Anyway, so that was a little weird, but her daughter's beautiful. And then so far I'm liking, you know, the little personality of the daughter and everything's cool. So, you know, that was cute. The next thing is that Robyn took her dress back to her wedding dress back to the wedding shop, and then that's when they did like them reminiscing about, you know, the wedding and whatnot. It was really beautiful. So we got to see Robyn's mom, and you know, something was up in her mouth. I think she had braces. It was weird, but yeah, they just talked about that briefly and, you know, whatever's happening in Robyn's life now. So that was you know, an interesting scene. And Robyn's outfit was super cute. I think Robyn, I love the way she dresses when she's like dressed up. I love the way she's styled. I think she looks like beautiful and fantastic. So four of the women went to try on swimsuits under the guise of Karen wanting to buy her daughter Raven some clothes. So she had Katie and Ashley try on swimsuits so that she can see what was age appropriate. It was just so funny. And so Charisse and Karen are just sitting there watching while Katie and Ashley try on swimsuits. And they did look, I mean, Katie looks so good. I mean, I don't know how much older Katie is than Ashley, but Katie looks so good, and I was just kind of like, bravo, you know. So they tried that on. That was kind of cute. And this is where Karen like also said something to Charisse about reaching out to Gizelle, and of course Charisse is acting like she's, you know, she can't be bothered because she's over it and she's an adult and like, whatever, girl, whatever. Then they go to wine tasting. Ashley hosts a wine tasting. She invites Karen and she invites all the ladies, and they get there and they kind of all hatch it out. Karen talks to Gizelle about their meeting, and then Gizelle starts to talk about Charisse as though she's not there, and it was really weird. And then Charisse was like, I'm here, we can talk. And Charisse is like, I'm just kind of over you. I don't want to deal with it. And then even Ashley confronts Gizelle. So it's kind of like a confronting Gizelle type situation. I don't know where Robyn stands, but I was feeling a little bit like Robyn was holding it down for Gizelle, which she should, because that's her girl. But I feel like Robyn needs to understand that Gizelle is like wrong in a lot of these instances, in my opinion. So, you know, Ashley calls her out and is like, why are you called me a thought? And she's like, oh, where you were humping Robyn. And she's like, but that isn't, a thought is a hoe. Like a hoe is a girl that sleeps around. And she's like, oh, well, it was thoughtish behavior. And it's like, Gizelle, stop using words you don't know the definitions to. Stop trying to like label this girl something. She's like 20, whatever she is. And even if she was like feeling saucy and grabbed Robyn and like kind of humped her, like that doesn't have any bearing on which you should call her a thought. Like, shut up, sit down, Gizelle, just sit down. And then so in the beginning, Charisse tried to act like she was so over and she didn't want to deal with Gizelle. And then like at the end, she came to her stupid senses and decided that she was just going to go and, you know, hug it out with Gizelle and say they've known each other for too long for them to be having these issues and blah, blah, blah. And it's true, girl. Like, and I'm also not feeling that hair color on Charisse. She looks like a Muppet and I'm just not into it. And I wish that she would never wear that hair color ever again. Like, I'm gonna just need Charisse to get a stylist or something, because she's the only one of them that just like doesn't know how to dress herself when she goes out. Like, I'm over it. Like, I don't understand why she doesn't have a stylist, or at least a better one. She needs to fire the one she has, because this person is not doing her justice, girl. Yeah, and then they were all kind of complaining about the whiskey too. Like, you guys just handle it gracefully. Handle it gracefully. Oh, Potomac women don't take shots of whiskey. Gizelle was, so everyone chill. You know, have a good time. learn something new, try something new. Katie was not at the whiskey tasting because she was at some sort of philanthropy event with Andrew, walking around and trying to get money for the Ross Foundation. And I think she was doing a good job smooching and doing what she needed to do. But then came the issue of her and Andrew getting married. I guess I don't understand this world. And I don't understand why it's so important for Katie to get married, because I feel like it's clear to me that her ex-husband takes care of her. It's clear to me that she has her own money. And like, I don't understand, like, and I guess that she's not marrying Andrew for money, but she does talk about the fact that he's successful. And like, I don't understand why she wants to be married to him after only like 2 years. I guess I just don't get it. Like, I feel like I don't understand marriage like that. I don't understand like the desire to be married. So like, he's saying that if she hadn't been bothering him about being married, that they would have been married. And like, I mean, I guess that might be true. It's not the first time I've heard a man say something like that when it comes to women who are like, we need to get married. We need to get married. Like, I guess I just think of marriage as just being a huge freaking deal. And that like, you shouldn't go into it lightly. But I guess there are people who don't go into it lightly. They just go into it fully committed to it. And that's the thing that like is weird, because I don't want to be unhappy ever. Nope. So like, whatever. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. I kind of hope that they break up, because I kind of am not into their relationship, because she's so like forceful with them getting married. Like, I feel like if they do get married, it's going to be really like contrived, you know? That was it for this episode, you guys. It was a little boring. I hope the next couple episodes are better, or maybe I'll just combine episodes, because I don't know. It was a little boring for me. I was like, oh, this is fun. It's, you know, some cute outfits. Mainly I'm there for the hair and the makeup and the outfits, and they were okay. I mean, Robyn stood out for me this episode, so that was fine. But, you know, a little boring. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you want to add to the conversation, please leave a comment down below. What did you think of the Real Housewives of Potomac? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or are you just watching this recap because you like the way I tell the story of what's going on in this show and you never actually plan on watching it? That makes me happy too. Thanks, guys. All right, have a nice day. Bye.